Hey guys, my name is John. I went to UCSD. This is my story, this is what you need to know, and this is why you should go to UCSD. Intro.
California. Here we come.
First of all, UC San Diego is located north of San Diego, of the actual city San Diego, in a small town called La Jolla. You'll be very close to Mexico, but even closer to the wonderful beaches of Southern California. Regarding the weather, I experienced maybe 3 days of rain, and the coldest it ever got was 3 degrees, maybe in the beginning of December at 4 a.m. in the morning. It's a very affluent neighborhood up there, so everything is a little more expensive than somewhere else in California. But you can go surfing, sailing, or sunbathing anytime. Downtown San Diego is pretty far away, but regarding the fact that it's a US city, the public transportation system is pretty well developed. So you can get there in maybe an hour. All things considered, studying at UCSD and living in iHouse was just an awesome experience. I've not been to the UC Santa Barbara campus, but I've been to Isla Vista, which is the neighborhood where all the students live, and it's a nice neighborhood and a very nice city. Santa Barbara is smaller than San Diego, and I have the feeling that living expenses might be even higher, but you basically get to do the same stuff. Regarding UCLA, I can't really tell you a lot about UCLA, other than the fact that it's immediately located in Beverly Hills. It's a very nice campus. There's no beaches, and you will definitely need to find a friend with a car, because public transportation in Los Angeles is pretty crappy. Also, the city didn't appear to be that interesting, although I'm probably offending half the students I met at UCSD who are from Los Angeles. So the fun, really the work, starts once you're accepted into the UC system. You get to choose 3 campuses you want to go to. After you ranked your 3 preferred universities, you choose courses for each of them. So you look through the course descriptions for courses that might interest you, or for courses that support your choice of campus. For example, if you want to go to UC Berkeley, you might want to choose macroeconomics courses or business courses. If you want to go to UC San Diego, you choose development econ or environmental economics because they are pretty big on that. You might not want to listen to me on that one because I tried that and I didn't go to Berkeley. Always keep in mind the preliminary courses you choose are not the courses you're necessarily going to take. They might not even be offered in the quarter you're there. Also, you'll have to write a motivational letter stating what you expect to get from your studies in the UC system. So you have your campus ranking, you have your courses, you have your motivational letter, and you'll need the TOEFL test. The TOEFL test is not hard, but you should prepare for it. The test is going to cost you $240, and they have this wonderful checklist, which I'm just going to read for you. They want your academic records, the TOEFL test, a photocopy of your personal information page of your passport, and a confirmation of financial resources, which is basically documentation that you have enough money to support yourself while you're in the US. So you give all of that to the IRO, and they handle the rest. And now it's the end of January, and you wait. Until the end of April, which is when I got my confirmation that I would go to UCSD. From here on, this video is probably exclusive to people who want to go to UCSD. You can start arranging stuff, like housing. And for housing, there's really only one option, which is iHouse, the international house. You could always live somewhere else, you could even live off campus, but you don't want to do that. The international house is 50% Americans and 50% international students just like you. So you apply to iHouse, they want to know a bunch of stuff, but most importantly, they want you to do something creative. I wrote a short story. The applications are reviewed by students who work for the International House, so think about what might interest them. Just write something interesting or play an interesting song. I don't know. So at this point you think getting into iHouse is hard, but when I was there it was not fully booked, so don't stress out about this too much. Singles cost $4,200 per quarter, which includes dining dollars, which is money on a card that you spend at various dining halls on campus. And for me, I think it was worth every penny. Living in iHouse is a wonderful experience. You'll meet lots of people, you'll have friends all over the world, It's just great. At some point in time, your DS 2019 will arrive, which is a visa document which you need to get into the US. To apply for this visa, you'll need an appointment with an American consulate, which is in Amsterdam, I think, if you're Dutch. And Germany has Frankfurt, Berlin, and Hamburg. Do this early, probably as soon as you get the DS 2019. Fill out the F-160, which is another form, but you do that online. Then you get your appointment. You pay $140 in processing fees and $180 for another fee that's called Savis. Then you physically appear for your appointment, which is a few weeks later. Okay, you give them your passport and your DS 2019, and you'll collect both about 2 weeks later. By default, they'll send it to you, but ask if you can pick it up yourself. Physically pick it up at the consulate. I know of 3 cases where people's passports disappeared in the mail. The envelope arrived open or not at all. I don't know if I just have unlucky friends, but getting a new passport and a new visa and a new DS 2019 is expensive, especially if you need them fast. Now you get to enroll in your real courses. For this, you'll need your PID, which is just an ID number, and then you can choose your classes you want to enroll into. Again, you pick 4. To register for classes, you will need to use WebReg. WebReg is very straightforward to use. Again, the courses you register for now are not the same courses you mentioned when you chose your campus. Keep in mind, you can choose everything you want. Whatever you choose, you will get to add and to drop courses for the first 2 weeks of the semester, I think. However, you can never be sure whether you get all the classes you want to get into once university started. So don't enroll too late because all the good classes might be taken. So now all that's left to do is book your flights, if you haven't already. Regarding living expenses, when you get your room in iHouse, you will find a desk, a closet, a ceiling lamp, a window that has a mosquito net in it, a mattress, and a bed. That is all. But there is a Target and there is an IKEA in San Diego, so you will be fine. Food is a little more expensive in the US than it is in Europe. The food is good at the dining halls. It's just very little food they give you for the amount of money you throw at them. You will automatically be enrolled in SHIP or SHIP, which is the University Health Insurance. You can waive it if you actively search for a US-based insurance company that will insure you for 3 months that you're there. But if you don't, the University of California will force you into their program, and that's $310 per quarter. So you made it. It's mid-September. The sun is shining. It's incredibly warm in Southern California. You have your bags and your heart full of hopes, and you're enthusiastic and excited, and you get your key at the Res Life office. And you move in! And this is your room. iHouse has so-called ambassadors, which are just Americans living with you, who will show you everything on campus, who will show you where you get your groceries, who will tell you what to do in emergencies and stuff like that. It's all very organized. Other than that, you will need a bank account, because at a technologically advanced facility like the University of California, you can only pay in cash, or by check drawn on an American bank account. Also, it's always good to have an American phone. And all you have to do is go out and meet people, and make new friends. Classes are taught in English, obviously. Not much different than what you're used to, although class sizes vary massively. Econ classes are generally pretty crowded, while humanities like political science or philosophy have class sizes of about 20 people. As much as class sizes differ, so do workloads and expectations. You will probably write 1 or 2 midterms per course. Alternatively, you might write papers. And in the end, there's a final. The required reading is about the same as what you're used to, but you don't need to read it as thoroughly because the midterms and the exams are mainly lecture based. So my first course was History of the American Economy, number 2. Why did I take this course? I took this course probably because we don't really have an economic history course at our university. What did you learn from the course? I learned a lot about the American legislation passed in response to the Great Depression, about the American presidency, about society, and how those were and are linked to bad policy making, and also just capitalism in general. How was the course taught? The course was based on the lectures and the readings. We did one paper, and we wrote one midterm, and we had a final. So, would you recommend this course? I would definitely recommend this course to anyone who's going to UCSD. I have nothing to complain about. Economic development. Why did I take this course? I hadn't had an economic development course in Maastricht, so I thought, why not? What did you learn from the course? I learned about problems in economic development, obviously. Education, safe drinking water, women's rights, unemployment, underemployment, all those things. How was the course taught? We had a book, but it was mainly lectures. We had 2 midterms. So, would you recommend this course? I learned a lot about things I didn't know anything about before, and I actually enjoyed it very much. Next course was Contemporary Political Philosophy. Why did I take this course? I took this course because I thought, why not make use of the opportunity that you can take anything you want while you're abroad? What did you learn from the course? I learned a whole lot about contemporary philosophers. I, I, I could of course name every single one of them because I remember everything I learned in this course, but but I won't bore you with the details. Oh, whether governments are morally allowed to coerce people to obey the law. How was the course taught? The way the course was taught is probably the closest I got to the PBL system. I had to write 2 papers, and technically there was a final, but the deal was if you got an A on both papers, you didn't have to take the final. So, would you recommend this course? Yes, I would recommend this course if you are in any way interested in philosophy and in reading, then yes. The 4th course I took was Democracy and Its Critics. Why did I take this course? It's a political science course. I took it because we don't really have political science courses here at SBE. Learning new stuff and pure interest. What did you learn from the course? So we dealt with Aristotle, Plato, and later obviously we arrived at communism, Marxism, fascism, and then democracy as it is today. How was the course taught? This course was taught lecture based. It was one midterm, one paper, and the final. So, would you recommend this course? I would probably not recommend this course to anyone. It was not what I expected it to be. Activities other than studying. The gyms and the pools are free if you have this wonderful card, which is just your student ID card. Also, the beach is in walking distance from iHouse. Join a club. I joined the sailing team. It was amazing. You meet so many new people. It's awesome. You should travel California. Do it with people you meet at UCSD. Spend Thanksgiving traditionally the American way with an American family. It's a wonderful experience. You should probably not go to Mexico. I was told not to go to Mexico. All the people who went came back. Don't waste your time. You only have 12 weeks. Use them. I think that's everything I have to say. If you have any more questions, the IRO has my university email address. I will not include it here because this video is going to go on the internet and that would be stupid. Links to some of the stuff I talk about are included below the video if you're watching this on YouTube. Other than that, give San Diego a shot. It's awesome and enjoy your time in California.